Yeah! Oh, he just shrugged it off, apparently. He just shrugged it off. Yeah, okay. Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Kreide. Today we've got tmanplays playing 9th US, and he's going up against Lil Goat playing 4th East German. So we'll talk about the deployments. No, we won't. We'll do the deck reviews. Then we'll talk about the map and the matchup. Then we'll talk about the deployments. Then we'll talk about the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is Lil Goat's deck. He's playing 4th Motorised, a division near and dear to my heart. I think it's a lot stronger than people give it credit for. We'll go through it tab by tab. So here we've got 3 cards of supply. That's fair enough, really, if you've got a lot of arty and stuff, a lot of tanks and stuff. Honestly, you try 2 with this div. I can't remember if I bring 3 or 2. But if you've got an MLRS, right, you definitely need 3. But yeah, I get away with 2 on this div. So try 2. That can be useful. And okay, now I need to find it again. Right. So try 2. And then, oh, you got 2 AP now. Great. CVs, right? So wheeled CV, tracked CV2 availability, tracked CV3 availability. This is literally 35 points, though. And then wheeled 3, wheeled 2. This doesn't have smoke or anything, so you might as well just get the wheeled one. And then, yeah, infantry tab. So we've got forward deployed CV, wheeled. And then that means that this, you can get away with having the tracked one instead of the wheeled one because you've got a wheeled CV here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I bring this one anyway. Because, you know, for 25 more points, it's going to get there faster. 25 points is one of these, so it could be useful, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, this is forward deployed, and it's the only forward deployed CV in the deck, so there's not really much choice there. I also bring one of these, but it looks like he's bringing his 3rd CV card is the tank CV. I actually don't do that. I bring an infantry CV. So yeah, FS Jaeger Metis are good, so I do something similar where, so basically you've got 3 FS Jaegers here, and you don't actually need all 3. I only bring the FS Jaeger Metis. So this is anti-vehicle, this is, you know, sort of a mixed bag, and then this is anti-infantry, because it's got 3 machine guns, that's like 6 rifles. It's actually more like, you know, 7-ish. Like a machine gun is slightly more than 2 rifles. And so, yeah, they're very good on the defense, as in you get there first and then the enemy infantry runs up to you and he doesn't make it. But you sacrifice your anti-vehicle capability. This has, you know, and this also has 1 fewer man. So, yeah, whatever works for you. I literally just bring this. Then he's brought the SPG-9, so this has the advantage of, so you see that this forward deployed comes in a 90 kilometers an hour truck, whereas this comes in a 100 kilometers an hour truck. So you do actually get to places first. The only problem is it then takes ages to aim and stuff, and then it misses or whatever. But it can be useful. I've seen him use this before, and he did quite well with it. It comes at 2 vet, right? You get 7, which is nice. Special force, it's not actually classed as special forces, which I think is a big shame. I think it should be, because it is literally the same guys but with an SP. So why wouldn't it be special for, why wouldn't this be special for? I need to write that down. FS SPG-9 FS bundle of sticks need SF, because I mean, if this, it's the same bloke, he's just on a different piece of equipment. So it might as well be Special Forces, right? Anyway, I'll ask. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Marshalls at SVD, really good squad. SSVD is like 2 machine guns. It's like 4 machine guns, which is like 8 rifles. So that's 13 rifles, quick maths. 13 rifles with Resolute for 55 points. Very effective, right? Whereas this, for 50, is, you know, 10. Because it's 6 plus 4, which is 10. Whereas this is 13, so, you know, it's a big deal. Anyway, SPW, yes, a very useful vehicle, very fun vehicle. It's got the KPVT. The PKT is there as well, right, for additional DPS. It does quite a bit of DPS. It's reasonably fast, you know. It's resolute. It's got 2 front armor, which helps it a little bit against max range kinetic projectiles. Not so much against ATGMs and stuff. Only it would survive a front shot from a base toe. Not many of those. Sorry, I ran out of hard drive space. It does happen. With 4K videos, right? It's all in 4K. I never see anybody mention that actually. Does that matter to you? I could save a lot of hard drive space if I wasn't doing it. I can tell you that much. Um, anyway, so this is like one of the most cost-effective cards in the game. 75 points for an extremely effective infantry squad, right? These LMGs are the best LMG in the game. They can't shoot when they're in the same building block, whereas a 5.56 magazine fed would be able to. This actually can't. But in the open, it's the best LMG in the game, and they get two. And they get a very good RPG, and they get Resolute for 45 points. Very, very effective. And then this for 30. Resolute, Smoke, Front Armor, Grom. Don't underestimate the Grom. Maryutka. So this will one-shot a 2 armor vehicle. Oh, yeah. So the SPW would still die to a regular tow. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, this is a one-shot 2 armor vehicle, such as an SPW, and it's got lots of range, right? You got Smoke, Resolute, 3 armor, so you can saturate the field with cheap ATGMs very, very quickly as this div, and you get a very good infantry squad with it. So I bring as many of these as I can. I used to bring Panzerjäger, and I assume I've been telling this guy to bring Panzerjäger as well. I hope not. Anyway, I can never get him to work really. Because of the 500 meters range, it's really difficult to use them. Outside of a forest setting, there's so many times where the difference between 500 and 675 you might think is not a big deal, but actually it is a really big deal. So they can work, but you don't really need them because this has so much suppression anyway that the enemy tank is going to rout. And you know, so you don't really need this. So you could replace it. You could replace it with who knows. I think I replaced mine with another CV, and then I took this CV out and I put the base T55 in, which I really do think you should do. So let's try that, right? Let's try that. I mean, obviously you don't have to listen to me. I also don't have the SPG-9 in my deck, so you might find that you're running out of infantry, but when you've got these guys in here, you probably won't. So between the other CVs, 40 points for 4 men with Smoke, 45 points for 4 men without Smoke. There's not much of a choice there. So yeah, you can get this and you can bring it in. You know, this is faster, right? So it'll get to places faster and you can actually use it to hurt people. So there you go. And then we'll get to the tank tab. So Arty, I used to bring this and this. Lately, I've been experimenting with using the Gwozdika for Smoke because my mortars keep getting counter-batteried. So I bring like a 1-vet Gwozdika. I'll be honest, it doesn't really work that well because what you make up for in not being counter-batteried, you lose in the fact that it costs you 150 points to buy it. So it's actually kind of hard to buy it. So I'm still experimenting, but it's worth thinking about because you're basically immune to counter battery. If you bring 2 of those at one there and you move it between shots, you actually have to do that. It's a lot easier to survive counter battery than these, which will automatically, if you give it 1 order, it will fire 2 salvos. So if you give it 1 order, a load up order, and a move order, for starters, there's a bug that sometimes makes it so it loads up and doesn't move, but the MTLB helps with that because this tends to survive counter battery fire. But it'll fire 2 salvos, and you know the salvo itself being 4 rounds is going to take like 10 seconds maybe. So that's you know 38 times by 2 is 76 seconds. So 1 minute and 16 seconds, right? Something like that, which is definitely enough time for this to aim and engage you. So something to think about, right? Whereas this, it would aim in 18, it would shoot, and then it would move, right? So, and it would be reloading while it moved, although, you know, this does that as well. So just something to keep in mind, but I am experimenting with it. I cannot confirm whether or not it's a good idea. The main problem I've been having is that I can very easily buy one of these and be a nuisance with it. And you can also use it to just pepper targets if you've got nothing better to do. You can very easily buy this, whereas buying this actually takes a lot of effort. Because it's more than twice the price, and it's like, you know, it's most of a full minute's income. If you buy this, you're not buying a tank that minute, for example. You've only got 110 points left, So I guess you could get one of these or something, but it does kill your momentum a lot, whereas you could buy this and you'd still have 195 points in that minute, so you could buy one of these, right? But anyway, so we got the CVs, and now you can get rid of this, and you can bring the T55s at 1 vet or 2 vet. And this gives you so much power in the early game. These things are really kind of OP right now, because their rate of fire went up by 1, and they were strong before. So now they're firing at least 9 ROF, depending on your veterancy, right? You don't bring it at no vet. And it's got Resolute, and yeah, it's really quite effective for 80 points. It's really, really quite effective for 80 points. So I can't remember if I bring them at 1 vet or 2 vet, but yeah, at the start you can literally buy 4, and it will just help you so much. They're very, very strong. They can tank a lot of RPGs and so on. Then we've got this for the Bastion, so you bring this at no vet because you want as many max range ATGMs as possible. Then we've got 2 regular tanks, which you bring at 1 vet, and all the T55s got buffed because of the rate of fire thing. So these are very effective. Also, I think the price of this one came down, so they got double buffed. And so 4th was strong anyway. I consider it an S tier division. I really do. But you know, a lot of people don't like it because it's not got auto cannons. So yeah, you bring it at 1 vet so that it can actually take some punches and survive in the fight, whereas this just shouldn't be getting shot because you should be at max range. So that's all good. And this is for sneaking around the side and annoying the hell out of people with its good stealth and its conkers. 1-shot 6 armor, which is the side armor on a T55. Recon. Recon Helo, very useful, yes. Aufklärer for cheap recon. I'm surprised you've not brought it in the KPV truck, because this is kind of useful for 30 points, gives you additional optics, you know, that sort of thing. But if you really just want cheapest possible recon, sure, and then you can sell this. Einsatzgruppe, so this is like, so you might be like, oh, I'm thin on the infantry. Well, here's another 8 infantry special forces at 2 vet. And, you know, this is your satchel infantry with smokes, which is why he's not brought pioneers or pioneer flam. So that's fair enough. And then this is just more line infantry, special forces, very strong squad. And then this is use it to annoy people, use it to shoot people. So these two have overlapping roles to an extent. I mean, you can bring both, but basically you put the one on the left you put with your tanks. Your tanks have exceptional optics, and it's got armor and it's got smoke, so it can survive a bit. Whereas the one on the right you can still put with your tanks, but it will only give them very good optics, and it's mainly, you know, it's got high speed and good stealth and fast road speed. So that's more what it's about. Less survivable, but faster. So you can bring both if you want. There's not really much of a need to. AA, so Cub, Wheeled, Strela, Igla. This is actually how I run it as well. So yeah, Cub for long range. Shilkas did get buffed. They're quite cool now. But yeah, basically this has the same anti-helo range. The reason I bring this, so I'm going to assume the reason he brings it as well, is that it's wheeled, and you put this with this, or you know, you can pick 2, right? But make sure the AA is with it. And you just send them around the side constantly in 2 or 3 little blocks. They're super duper fast, which makes them also go through forests very fast, because forests is just like a percentage debuff to your speed. I think it's 50%, I'm not quite sure. And so they're super fast, right? So 85, because they're the same thing. 85, they're all BR DM2s, right? And so yeah, you put them together. This gives recon. This gives anti-vehicle. So really, the Conkers and the Strela are fine by themselves. Send a supply to follow them up, and so you get it onto a road. It starts shooting the guys. They send a helicopter. The helicopter gets shot by this. It's actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You should try it. So that's probably why he's done that. Hopefully, we get to see that in the game. Then for the helicopters, yeah, the main advantage of this div is that it gets the 2 availability hinds. They've got worse ATGMs, but yeah, I do the same, where I bring 1 Kokon in case I need Kokons. Between these two, they're the same price, but this one has more dumbfire rockets and this one has more Kokons, so bring whichever one you want. And then these are just, you know, kill people with rockets. This I used to really like, but honestly, it just doesn't work very well. The enemy jet will beat it, so you need two of them, at which point you hit it once, you do 4 damage, and you've still lost your jet, you've still lost your helicopter. So, they're not that useful, really. If you've got 2 extra AP, you can put it in just so you've got more helicopter rockets, right? So that could be where you spend your 2 AP. Because there's not really anywhere else to spend it. I suppose you could upvet this and bring 2 of these, right? Or you could... so yeah, you got 2 extra helicopters. Yeah, or you could do 2 of these. Or you could bring... Actually, yeah, that's another good idea. So you could have your 3 cards of supply, and you could bring an RM70. But, I mean, obviously... Well, okay, no, you can't. Never mind. So yeah, you can keep your 3 cards of supply if you want, or you can upvet your artillery, and your artillery will shoot faster now. I don't recommend 2 cards of supply with an MLRS, because you'll just run out. So yeah, you can upvet that, or you can do this, right? Or you can keep your 3 cards of supply. So that's that. You know, just giving some ideas, right? That you can build the deck any way you want. He's going up against tmanplays, and he's playing 9th US. So this div I would also consider to be S tier. It's just everything's kind of suffering without the you know, the autocannons. The autocannons are just kind of killing everybody at the moment, so if you don't have autocannons, it's kind of hard to play. But this div is kind of similar in that it's a very mobile div, and it really annoys people. So 3 cards of supply, yeah, that's normal. Well, okay, I mean, you can get away with 2, actually, on this div. But if you've got an MLRS, then, okay, yeah, you definitely need 3. If you want this to be firing, you need 3. So, considering we've got that, yeah, let's keep the 3 cards of supply. And then between the CVs, Helo CVs are dumb. This is 2 availability, this is 3 availability and wield. And he's actually only got... Okay, so he's got 6 CVs, which is the bare minimum, basically. Well, I'd say 5 is the absolute minimum. If you bring in 4 in a 1v1, you just deserve to run out of CVs. I will snipe your CV. I think 5 is the bare minimum, 6 is comfortable. You know, 7 or more is more comfortable, I suppose. So, inf tab, so grenade launchers, and then MP patrol with the recoilless rifles. The main advantage of this is that it's a military police transport. So you click this, Shift F, click on your tank, and it'll follow your tank around and get rid of this absolutely debilitating reservist debuff. So you do need that. And then light rifle law spam. So these guys, they lost a man when they got added to 6th US. They went from 10 to 9, but they got 5 points cheaper. This is like 2 machine guns, 4 machine guns, which is 8 rifles, which means that they shoot with the strength of 14 men. It's really not bad for 55 points. And they come with the grenade launchers, so this is like, because you don't have IFVs, you get these instead, and it's very effective against infantry, more effective than an autocannon, but it doesn't have the anti-vehicle potential, and it's got less than 1 armor and all this, but it's cheaper. So yeah, 3 cards of those, so that's a lot of that. Has he got any satchels? No. Don't know, might want to consider, you know, bringing some satchels, because if you get into a town, yes, you can deploy your short kings, who are just shorter, apparently. It must be the weight of that dragon. Or you can, you know, bring somebody who could actually win. So, I don't know, if, you know, do you really need 18 light rifles law and 10 light rifles dragon? I'd be tempted to get rid of one of these and bring some engineers. And you can bring it in the regular one, or you can bring it in the 50 cal one. You know, for 5 points more for a 50 cal is actually really not bad. Although, obviously, you could sell this, right? So it's up to you. If you're going into a town, this might not be so useful. It is kind of nice to have, though. Yeah, and then dragons. Depends on your playstyle. T-Man plays like quite a slow, methodical game, in which case he will have time for this to sell and then buy something else. Whereas I just attack all the time. So I like having the units as fast as possible, I suppose. And then, yeah, Light Rifles Dragon, who are the same as these guys, except instead of the DMR, they've just got a machine gun, which isn't as good. It can shoot on the move, though. It's kind of a weird setup. So this needs to be stationary to shoot, and this needs to be stationary to shoot. So realistically, the Light Rifles Law should have the 3rd machine gun, and the Light Rifles Dragon should have the DMR. you know, for like synergize. I don't know about realistically, and it's probably the wrong word to use. But instead, it's the other way around. I mean, it's whatever. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so it's sort of the same thing, except one more machine gun, one less DMR. So they're worse against infantry, but they've got a Dragon 2. They're better against vehicles, and they cost 10 points more, and you get one less. And then 2 cards of TOW 2s, TOW 2 A's. So, you know, you can sort of pad it out with like a card of Itos or something, but considering you only get one more of, like, Conquers come at 6 per card. These come at 4 per card. Why? Anyway, yeah, very effective. It's got tandem, so it deals +1 damage to ERA. So this will 2-shot a T80 BV, whereas a regular TOW 2 won't, even though it's got the same pen because of the ERA. And then, yeah, this is a 3 per card CV. So this is 2 per card. It's got a lot of HP, and this is 2 per card, and it's got smoke. But this is, you know, it's got the HP. RT, so National Guard, Mortar, yeah, for smoking, yeah. So between these two, the other one's got more range, but, you know, it's more expensive, and it shoots slower, and it's got less availability. So if you really just want it for smoke, the 81mm is probably better. And yeah, it's reservist, so make sure you put your military police vehicle with it. Then, so you've got this one or this one, and considering this is now 2 per card, I think the Copperhead rounds are just way, way better. Because, so it's got less range, which means at the same range it will have a wider dispersion circle. But the advantage of the Copperheads is that they've got this guided fire, which means that if you have a recon unit nearby, it gets corrected shot, like super corrected shot, and it becomes a literal sniper rifle. So I prefer this one, and given that they're both 2 per card now, I really think there's no reason to bring the bad one. Unless you just never bring any recon ever, which is sort of not what this div's about. This div's about bringing lots of recon, so I'd be bringing this. And then, yeah, the cluster thing, I mean, okay, I don't really think it fits in with the Division very well. The Division wants to be mobile. The Division wants to be, you know, taking fights in places and spreading the enemy out as much as possible. So I don't really think this fits in. It costs a lot. I'd much rather bring this, which is, you know, Coffin Launcher. It's very good against infantry on something like Urban Frontlines. It's proper funny. It's only 90 points. You get 2 of them. It's got smoke. It can survive a TOW 2 hit, and it's got smoke. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And then you can... Sorry, I keep hiccuping. Then you can get rid of your 3rd card of sort of... Well, now you've got 3 AP. Hooray! Right, now you can bring all sorts. So, you know, another... Okay. Another helicopter, maybe. I'm trying to think. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I would do it. But, you know, I mean, this can work. And then Humvee TOW, which is really good. Right, it's a TOW on a Humvee, good stealth, TOW 2. This thing is absolutely cracked. It's got a Hellfire. So it no longer has the 1-second aim time, which it used to have on like every other ATGM in the game, ground-based, which are all 2.2. So now it's 2.2, which is a lot more reasonable. But this missile is really fast, really accurate, high pen. Can one-shot T-55 and T-55A. And yeah, it's really, really good stealth, and then you can just run away. It's a high priority target. If you're facing 9th, you want to always try and focus these down. Then we've got 2 cards of National Guard M60s, which should definitely be at 1 vet. They should definitely be at 1 vet if you actually want to use this tank. Especially given that they're reservists, you should not be bringing them at no vet. And then you put the military police with them to get rid of the reservist debuff, and then the M60 TTS, which is not actually reservist, right? So you can bring that as well. And then if you know, let's say you wanted at this point, you know, you wanted some more infantry, you could get rid of this and then put this in or something. I don't know. I mean, or let's say you want 8 CVs. There you go. You get 8 CVs now. Or you could bring 5 more Humvee TOWs. Let's say you don't need more than 5, well then now you've got 6 and the higher accuracy. Not much point in doing that, but you could do it. But really what I'd be bringing is something in this tab, which is the drone. Because the drone's absolutely amazing. It's got really high evasion. Certain decks, like, so if you're against second Panzergren and he didn't bring the Fliegerfaust and the Zwillingers, it's literally just Eyehawks and Gepards, and they just can't kill this. They literally can't shoot it. So he's got to bring his plane. It's very, very effective. It gives you a lot of vision, which allows you to use your mobility well, because you use the drone and you're like, oh, he's not there, and then you go that way with all your light stuff. And then, yeah, so this is an absolutely cracked sniper. Should cost at least 5 points more. It can, like, one-shot 4 HP helicopter if both guns hit. It's absolutely absurd, this Barrett 50 cal. And he brings it in the faster transport, because this is 120 kilometers an hour. So they get there first, right? And then they shoot the enemy forward deployment coming the other way and one-shot their transport. Because it's a 4 HP truck. And you'll deal 4 damage to it with these two put together, because it multiplies by 5, and if it's got less than 1 armor, then you get a damage buff as well. Then these, I mean, these can be useful for, like, spreading out and annoying people. The alternative would be, you know, this one, which is a grenade launcher, so I think that might be a little bit more useful. But yeah, you get 2 more of these. You can even get them at 2 there. I don't know, Sure, maybe this can work. I'm pretty sure I just don't bring this. And then I just bring the scouts and the grenade launcher Humvee, although I suppose these are here anyway. And then this helo is now 4 availability for some reason, and it's got, because this had its availability boosted, and I really don't know why. Because, I mean, it's literally got the gun from a Viper? A hog, a cobra. It's got the gun from a cobra on it, so that's pretty crazy at 4 availability. And then, yeah, scouts and a grenade launch Humvee, the TOW-2 one, very effective, 120 kilometers an hour, recon forward deployment. It's literally the fastest vehicle in the game, excluding all the special forces stuff. And then, yeah, we spoke about the drone. I think the drone's a really good idea. But hey, whatever. You can also bring, instead you could bring this, although I suppose you've not got your third card of supply anymore, or yeah, or you can have your third card of supply and get rid of this and what have you. AA tab, so Stinger, yeah. Avenger, yeah. If you want good anti-infantry, here's a great place to spend your 3 AP. You can get the VADs, and this will just absolutely eviscerate infantry. You don't really need it, given that you've got so many grenade launchers all over the place. You don't really need it, but it can work. It's actually got less range than the grenade launchers. So, yeah, and then helicopters. Here's another great place you can spend your points, right? Get some hogs, because you've got the tow cobra already, so you can get some regular cobras, which were renamed hog for some reason. And then the air tab, which is full anyway, but basically eagle for long range, and it's the bad eagle. Whoops. And, you know, this for short range, one of the best fighters in the game, actually, because shotgun fighters are pretty powerful, and it's got high ECM, so it tends to survive the first long-range shot coming the other way, and then these 2 missiles tend to both hit. And they've got, you know, decent range for a short-range missile. Then this, which is proper decent, because it's got 2 guns on it, and you use the Mavericks against stuff, right? This one, it reloads every 4 minutes. I'm not so sure about it, really, but whatever, it can work. And then the seed, which you send out with your other stuff to keep it alive, and it's got top tier seed missiles on it. So, you know, I mean, you can have your 3 cards of supply and your MLRS if you want, but I just don't think it makes much sense for this division to do that. Why did we get rid of this one? And then you can bring, you know, whatever you want. 2 extra CVs, extra tows. Don't bring this one. Extra recon, extra AA if you so desire. Extra helicopters, you know, take your pick. I think it's all worth it. I personally would be bringing the drone. So with the yappening out of the way, let's talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and then the game, and as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about the map. I think this is the most imbalanced map in Ranked. Although I suppose there's a lot of contenders. Death Row is pretty bad. Vertigo is pretty bad. But this one's just crazy. So basically, if you're on the blue side, you've got this massive advantage, right? So in Boris, you've got this nice hill here, which means at any moment you can pop over and shoot his reinforcements coming in. So that's lovely. Your forward deployment for blue gets here. When red's, if he comes this way, gets there at the same time, they meet here. Right, so red is forced to use this road, at which point, you know, all of red's reinforcements are coming down this road, and blue can just pop over and shoot it and then retreat. Pop over, shoot it, and then retreat. Blue's also got this fallback position, and yeah, red's coming over here. He's exposed constantly, and he can never really lock this down, because all you got to do is stroll forward, shoot, and go backwards. You know, red can have things here, and he can shoot back, but his transport's dead, right? So you can then, you know, you can send stuff down this road, but then there's a, you know, you can't do anything. Blue can just have somebody here shooting if he wants, right? Somebody here if he wants. And your fire support can't help you because of this hill, so your infantry gets to here and then they get massacred by the guys who are here who can shoot, you know, here. So that's that, very blue favored. In the center, very blue favored. Blue gets all these buildings, and they get this at the start. Red gets this, great, and there's a dip here. That's the red advantage, that there's a dip here. So you can hide the CV in the dip, but hiding the CV in the dip means you absolutely have to control Boris, otherwise they just come down here. You know, they just come down here and shoot it, and you got to have somebody here so that they don't just walk into the dip. So you get a tiny little dip, which can just be artilleried, and your enemy gets all these buildings. Isn't that lovely? On Gregory, this is basically even. You know, there's a gap here, which I suppose helps red a little bit, but not really. I mean, blue can just put something here, shoot straight down the road, shoot all this. So this is basically even. And then Dmitry versus Fedor, also very, very blue-sided. Fedor is very difficult to hold. So basically, forward deployment gets here at the start for both teams. And then blue goes from here to here. And once you get to here, you own the zone, because you can shoot everybody coming in. Can shoot everybody coming in, so red has to, like, look at that. You can actually shoot at the crossroads, so red can't even send stuff down here and unload it, because they'll be shot. So they actually need to unload it, like, here. Well, the enemy's going to see you come in anyway, because he's got the recon, so they've got to unload it, like, here, and then manually path it, or just, like, smoke this off, or just face the music and the fact that you're going to get shot. And then meanwhile, Dmitry is like the most defendable position in existence. You've got this fallback position, you've got this fallback position, nice open roads with which to shoot people. Then you've got this fallback position, nice open roads, you can see all the way down there. You've also got this fallback position. So red has to take this, right? He needs to take this, which is basically impossible because the guys here and here are shooting you. Then he's got to path guys from here to here, while being shot from here, and from here, and from here, and from here. This map is so imbalanced, oh man. Let's talk about the deployments. We've got tmanplays playing 9th US. Between the divisions, I mean the matchup, right? I think both of these divisions are pretty equal. Fourth, I keep wanting to say 4th Dutch. 4th East German is strong in my opinion. They're both like quite light, scrappy divs. 9th US is definitely a lighter div. Like 4th has the better tanks, but 9th has the better infantry. You know, 4th has IFVs, but no autocannons. 9th has the grenade launcher spam, which is a lot faster and a lot cheaper. Whereas 4th gets T55s and 9th gets M60s, and obviously in real life the M60 beats the T55, but in this game the T55 wins because this is a very, very biased game. So yeah, talked about the deployments. We got a sniper going here, so that'll one-shot a transport coming up here. Don't really agree with that. I mean, you could put it here and you'd still have good vision. You'd have vision down here as well, and there's less chance of you being killed. You can always fall back, so I'm not sure why he's doing that. The alternative would be to put it here because you get there faster than anybody else, and then you can literally shoot the transports as they come in. So I think that's a bit of a weird one. Then we've got a 50 cal just going over here just to scout. Behind that, we got 2 light rifles law. So yeah, 9th definitely has the better infantry, and this thing, which is the supreme killer of everything, A very strong ATGM vehicle, and an Avenger, so a bunch of Stingers strapped together. Then we got a Sniper going to here. Yeah, that's a good spot for it. You could also put it here and make sure you secure this at the start, because if Red gets this, then he might actually have a fighting chance. And a TOW going to here to also be able to just shoot guys as they come down this road. How lovely. And then behind that we've got Light Rifles Dragon, an Avenger, and a Humvee. Humvee's going Anna, Dimitri. So that's kind of weird. I mean, surely it'd be better to go Anna, center, reverse back out, go Dimitri, right? Because now, well, I don't know, I suppose you could always go here and then go back there, but it makes more sense to do it my way. The alternative is to just buy one for the right and then go Boris, then go center, then go Anna, then go Dimitri. I actually, when I play on this map, I open without CVs because I think it's a bad idea to open CVs on a map which only has +1 zones. You're not really getting a good lead there, and you're losing 85 points at your deployment. Yeah, Red's doing it more though, so... Sniper going to here, even though he could get to here first. I mean, I guess he's just worried about enemy forward deployment, but he'd get there way faster and he'd actually just kill the enemy before they unload if he came up here, so way too defensive there. The TOW going here, sort of same story really. You could put it up here. Or you could get it to here, actually, maybe. Then grenade launcher, Stinger, 2 more light rifles, 1 law, 1 dragon, and a Stinger here. Switch it to his opponent's deployment. We've got the SPG-9 going up to here, so the sniper will kill that. We've got a BRDM-2 thing going over here just for vision. It's a decent spot, actually. I didn't realise you could see all the way up to there. And then we've got 2 guys with, yeah, so the Einsatzgruppe and the, whatever, the other one. So 1 satchel, 1 law. Then Estrella Rakoba T-55, the one with the Bastion missile. So Bastion missile going to here. This isn't really where you want a Bastion missile. This is where you want a regular tank because the enemy's going to be here. So what do you need that 2,800 meters for? And he's going to be up here and he's going to be up here. I suppose you could put it there and shoot all the way down there, but that's once you've taken the zone. And he's charging down mid with an SPG-9, and a Metis squad. He's bought 2 forward deployed CVs, which I think is a big mistake, really, especially when you're on the bad side. I would go as far as to call it the trash side. It's literally awful playing on this side. It's literally awful. You've basically got no chance. Well, I mean, you know, I've won matches from this side. I've lost matches on the other side, but it is very, very imbalanced. So yeah, I think buying these 2 CVs and investing 220 points in what, a +2 tick. You don't need it. That's huge. That could have been, you know, 3 extra BMP1s with Moshutzen, and you could have got them all set up here and so on. As it stands, there's no recon here, so I think he's really going to... I think this sniper and this TOW is just going to kill all this stuff and he won't be able to see it. Recon helo, SPG-9 for the right. Yeah, I suppose that's a decent spot in that you can see down there, even if you can't shoot down there. Recon guy, so that's an interesting deployment road. And then yeah, an SPG-9 for here with a CV. And let's cast the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners generously joining the channel. They get the names on the screen, they get the early access to the videos, they get members exclusive videos at a rate of 1 per week. I'm currently unemployed trying to finish a PhD, and this is my sole source of income, so if you want the videos to keep coming, that's the way. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go get a job. And then it'll take me even longer to finish the PhD. So here we go. Yeah, as we spoke about, you know, enemy gets there first. No recon, so I don't even know if they can even see this. No, they probably can see, actually. They're very close. No, it's shooting them. They're not seeing. Oh no, this just re-aimed. Look at that. Look at that. He already killed one. And then he just leaves and he takes no damage there. So yeah, pretty cracked unit. You know, Red with the advantage in points at the moment, but I think it was a big mistake. You know, instead he could have had 2 BMP1s and a recon unit here, so that he wouldn't just get shot by everybody. I mean, look, these are just dying. They've only got 2 HP. The one here just died to the sniper. The one here died to the sniper. This they're all... There you go. It deals 2 damage in 1 shot. It's just it missed the first time, so they die in 1 hit. Now he's dead to the sniper. Yeah, really cool unit. very exciting. So the sniper's just going to kill everybody here. Look at that, he's losing 2 HP a pop. This needs to come around here and focus this. Look at that, it's just crazy. So red ahead on points, but behind on positioning, really, and most of his guys are dead. The sniper's just killed them all. 9th US really makes me think division. And yeah, so red losing this fight despite having the cover bonus and so on. Just the sniper's killing everybody, sniper's killing everybody, sniper's killing everybody. Ha 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 ha. Can't even shoot back. Oh, there goes another one. It's like that meme. Another one. Another one. Wow. Anyway, I suppose it's nice to see America get some nonsense equipment. Usually it's on Pact. Pact usually has most of the nonsense equipment. So America having some nonsense is good stuff. Look at this. He's actually had to buy a bomber just to kill this 145-point unit. And this will probably die to the Avenger now. And he had to do that. That's the only way to deal with it. So, or he could buy a 150-point artillery piece if he wants. The one here survived, right, and killed his whole thing. Yeah, wow, incredible. Makes so much sense. 45 points, by the way. It used to be 35 as well. Should be like 55 or even 60. What an absurd unit. Anyway, so he's bringing over the CV now. He's bought a helo, but he just got hit by that Avenger. His bomber did survive. It did take a hit, so he knows the Avenger's here, so this isn't really very smart. And now Blue's managed to cross the divide and get in here because of the sniper. Is literally it. So now red is in a pickle because at close range he will lose this fight against so many machine guns and so on. So Avenger's going to open up on the helicopter. This wasn't really a smart purchase. He knew about that because it shot his BIS, MiG-21 Bison. And over here, Blue's got just a big superiority in men, so the grenade launcher specifically really helped to take out that guy. SPG-9 goes down, so Blue's going to take the right side. Blue's taken mid, he's just not put CV there, and Blue's winning on the left. So yeah, really not looking so good for red team. And a lot of it is just the map, right? The matchup, definitely blue is better early game. Like late game, red doesn't really run out of BMP ones. But also buying those 2 forward deployed CVs at the start was not a good idea. It was not a good idea. You got 200 points, but if you lose the game, who cares? And yeah, so that's probably going to explode now. Down it goes. T-55 did survive, and this guy should really be getting back and repairing. Interesting decision-making here by T-Man to enter the AT range there, although... Oh no, okay. Interesting. Guess it's not in the range. So yeah, Lil Goat should have pulled back into the forest there. I mean, there's no point just sitting here and getting shot. I don't know what's the advantage here. And over here, Lil Goat should smoke and run away, or he's going to die. I don't think he's paying attention, though. I think this is just going to die. It's only got 4 HP, and these guys are really good, and, you know, this has... they've got 3 machine guns, and this is a grenade launcher, so he's probably dead. Can't really see him making it out. And yeah, this is basically what happens to me every time I play on this map. It doesn't really matter where you focus. Blue has the advantage everywhere except here. And once you take this, well, it doesn't matter because he'll have these 2. So you try and take Dimitri, but it's basically impossible because of this position here, which you can't target from here. So even if you get up to here, you can't sort this out. And then... So this will always be shooting down there, this will always be shooting down there, this will be shooting down there, this will be shooting down there. You can also put somebody here and shoot somebody up here, and you can also move people up here. So even if you do manage to take it, they could get an infantry unit, just run up and shoot you. So, whoa, it's very, very difficult to deal with. Anyway, the T-55s do beat the National Guard M60s, particularly when he has not bought the military police vehicle to put with this. He did put it in his deck, we did see it in the deck. CV died, by the way. So it's kind of strange to see 4 of these and 0 military police vehicle. Because you only need 1 to buff them all up and make them all better. Anyway, Lil Goat keeps running forwards and getting shot. I'm not really sure why. This is a lot smarter, actually. Get the Conkers over here and just move those forward slowly. He's coming in. I hope he's going for the AA. No, he's not. He's dead. He went for nothing. He lost his vision there, and then he perished. And then this is, yeah, this is the other thing, right? So you can't really, these guys can't really help out. He needs to stop doing this. He keeps exposing himself, right? This can't hurt you if you're back here, and then it's just you versus the infantry, which is a fight you might actually win. Anyway, Seed won't help him here, really. He just needs to stop buying planes into the 2 Avengers. He's going for the CV. You need to go for the AA. Like, this should be here in front of this, fighting. So, he gets 2 tanks or something. He got 2 light rifles, Laura, and a tank. So there's 3 kills. It's not bad. It actually made it out as well. It's got a bit more ECM than the other one. A bit more HP. Anyway, Motorised and SVD will lose to the machine gun in particular. So these need to get forwards and help out and focus down this machine gun. But that's not being done there. And he's got this here to, you know, at least slow the tick down. And, yeah, as you can see, Red is winning in the forest, mainly because these guys only have laws. And so this is the other problem, right? If there was a guy here, he would have died here, but there was... Ha! They stunned themselves with their own Maryuka. Right, well, fun for the whole family. Everybody's got lower cohesion now. Great. Anyway, if he gets too far forwards, this is going to just start obliterating him. And it has good stealth, and the recon is leaving, so... He's got to be careful here. But yeah, Lil Goat, he's actually managed to do a pretty decent job of this. You know, he took out a lot of T-Man's tanks and stuff, and he survived. I mean, a lot of this is to do with the fact that T-Man's positioning was kind of trash. Like, why didn't he have one ATGM here, just shooting everybody coming down this road? Helicopter might be a problem. Well, here's your Avenger. You've got 2 units here. Humvee can go here and shoot everybody as they come in. These guys can't do anything. If they start they start. 1 ping, please, Commander. You just reverse, right? But yeah, so instead he's decided to just not use his main advantage. Which, you know, is personal choice, I suppose. It's not going well for Red on this side though. He's lost that, and yeah, I mean the only reason he's on a +1 is because T-Man hasn't actually got a CV in here because he put it back here. Because I assume he probably thought he was going to get this zone. So here you go. So this is look at that. Look at that, and you're still stunned. You're still stunned from the first round when the second one comes in. So that is very, very difficult to deal with. And so you need the recon right pressed up, and then you need to focus it down with 2 tanks, basically. This has a lot. Okay, so now you're in trouble again. Very difficult to deal with. You could also bring artillery and stuff. So he's bought the MLRS, which we spoke about in the deck review. I said the coffin launchers are better, and I stand by that. Basically, if he'd had a coffin launcher here, he would just be coffin launchering it constantly. But, you know, this is a good situation for it, because if he just aims it back here, he will actually kill a lot of things. Question is, does he know to do that? Because, oh yeah, of course. Because he might think, well, they're pressed up here. So yeah, this is going to be pretty huge, actually. There's a lot of transports here, the AA's here. So there you go, the CUCV. The Cook V is back. And bam! Now you're stunned. I shoot again before you stop being stunned. You are now dead. Very, very, very difficult to deal with. Very powerful unit. And here comes the MRS, so that's going to be pretty big. So, there, 2 units gone. 3 units gone. 4 units gone. He stopped the volley there. Could have got these 2, but whatever. He got the important things. He got the tank. He got the big supply. He got the cub. So, yeah, not looking great for Lil Goat here, actually. He was doing well, and now all his stuff's dead. He needs to sort of settle in and buy some more T-55s. Right, yeah, so he's got the recon here. Resupply this. Heal this. Okay, so he's got reinforcements coming in. They're going the wrong way. So if they're here, they'd be able to help, but otherwise they're going to show up here and, you know, they're not going to be able to do too much. And so there you go. So T-Man, he manages to get a guy back in. You see the power of the Panzerjäger there, just can't really do anything because of the range. But he does see it, he does know it's there, so this would be a great opportunity. I was going to say, like a mortar here would be really useful, because he's not moving. There's not really anywhere for him to go, so you might as well just mortar this, mortar this. The Cook V did die, so he just immediately buys another one. He's going for the CV, because there's really only one place it could be. I mean, it is slightly outside the circle, so look at that. So he just dodges that, but now the sniper's going to shoot. So he's got to go now. He's got to go now. Whoa. He makes it out. Could have also come back this way. The tendency is, I need to stay in the zone. But for the sake of 3 points, and then you die, right? And then you lose 100 points while the next one shows up. So it's not really worth it. Anyway, this is a pretty good spot. Sadly, the Avenger is in position to shoot. Although the LOS tool would tell you otherwise. And he didn't react immediately there, so he's dead. So yeah, not fantastic there. And yeah, so you know, if you've got like a BRDM2 with these, and then you could pop them up and shoot. But he's, yeah, or you could just pop them up and shoot anyway. Anyway, so he needs that Strela to shoot the Tow Cobra, really. But the problem is these will shoot him. I'm looking forward to seeing those mortars engage. I think that would be cool. But yeah, both players just completely lane-brained at the moment. Nothing really going on anywhere else. Like Lil Goat, he's got some guys here. If he actually used them properly, you could beat this with what he has here. But yeah, both players completely lane-brained. Just spamming stuff down here. T-Man not using his main advantage. Not cutting the reinforcements here. Just completely lane-brained. You hate to see it. It's not fantastic. So Lil Goat free to reinforce his guys, even though he doesn't have this position. Great position to have, right? Just put a tank there. Oh, you're not getting in anymore. Or you're going to lose a couple guys. You know, another thing T-Man could do is just run this infantry down here. Suppose this would shoot you, but that's what the Tow's for. Tow would kill that, but no, he's quite content to just let this happen. Both players just, you know, this is a very high-level game, but people make the same mistakes at all levels, I suppose. Okay, so he's smoking this, which is fair enough, but typically, so I mean, you would smoke if you want to attack, right? If you want to do something. So you would smoke this if you want to attack this, so that's always possible. So is he going for the AA? No, he's going for all this. Whoa, that was a huge kill. You know, lots of spam going on there. Big blob. That was huge. He got like 4 or 5 units there, including the CV. Okay, it was the Helo that died. I was like, I heard it crash, but what could have killed it? Because this is only close range AA. You know, T-Man, he could buy an Eagle and just have the Eagle on cap, because these are only close range AA. You need to use the Eagle. Anyway, so this has been smoked. And, okay, so he smoked this to attack this. So, yeah, these need to come up here and do some helping, you know. And they are now doing so. And the units are forced to move forwards if they want to engage, which means they're now getting shot. The only problem is because of this hill, these guys are going to start getting lawed now. Very frustrating. And so they've got to be careful here. You see how he left them behind the hill so that they wouldn't... Pretty sure he's just put them on an attack move order, actually. You know, this is the idea. Anyway, that AT is probably dead. Here we go. So T-Man, he's walking forwards now. He's sort of clocked on to, oh yeah, I can just go kill this. So what you can do is just put a T-55 here. That's always useful. And yeah, lots of red dying here. Blue definitely using his units. This is actually on the ground, so that can't shoot. But the CUCV would actually be able to one-shot this pretty effectively. So here we go. And because it's on the ground, it's classed as a ground target. Oh, it missed! Wow, that was quite surprising, actually. So he tries to take off, and yeah, it takes time. So he dies. And yeah, red's just generally the map, really not in red's favour here. Blue can sit here and have the open ground advantage. Red has to come up the hill, so he's always going to be at a disadvantage there. The counter to that is to have all this up here and poke out of the forest. So that's something you can do. And this CV was forced to withdraw. MLRS is back, it's going to do another hit on the back lines. There's not as much there this time. But it will, you know, hurt some things. You might as well use it if you've got it. And yeah, just continuing to just buy no-vet M60s, which are worse than the T55s, but it's kind of hard to use the T55s if this hill stops you from doing so. So, Mott Schutzen here now. So the question is, right, so obviously the Mott Schutzen will engage the light... Sorry, that was my desk. Will engage the light rifles. I've got a spoke on my desk, and I just press my foot against it, and occasionally it just kind of snaps and pops the screw out. So Yeah, I was going to say, will it just shoot the dragon anyway while it's engaging the Mott Shotgun, but it looks like just because of the way the LOS has worked here and the fact that this is on an attack move order. Anyway, it's got 3 machine guns and it's a bigger squad, so it will actually win this fight quite decisively despite the 2 there. Wow, that's incredible, actually. He's lost 5 men and he's lost 1. So the T-55's coming up the hill, but the M60s, you know, they're already there. This is very dead. Okay, so it smokes. These men do have a law. This has a lot of armor. And, yeah, you know, so the smoke, it's cool. But what could also have been done there is just some HE. But yeah, the smoke idea is cool. And, you know, regular T-55s would be very effective here. Anyway, that one light rifle's dragon killed that Mott Shotgun, really, and it only lost 2 HP. So very, very effective squad. I mean, it cost 20 points more, so, you know, it's probably quite reasonable. But yeah, the M60s, man, look how many of them there are. So they're at Novet, and what you can do is put a military police vehicle next to them to make them not be low cohesion. But he's opted to just not do that, which is very strange, actually. Just one, be very effective. But yeah, you can hear the grenade launchers just constantly going off here, and this died pretty fast because of that. So it's very difficult for Red to do anything about this. He's brought this healer over to deal with that light dragon, presumably. Light rifle's dragon. And he's pushing down this way, which is cool. The issue he's going to have is, of course, the sniper rifle of Doom and the TOW 2A. He doesn't have recon there, so he won't be able to see it. So MLRS fires again. Additional artillery purchased as well. I think mortars are better in this situation. On this kind of static front line where you can't really move. I think a mortar, for how cheap it is, can actually do a lot of damage. Whereas these are like precision tools, but there's, you know, what precise target are you hitting? Like, this makes sense, right? So here you go. So now he's coming down here. I'm just really surprised he just didn't use this. Give the enemy a fighting chance, I suppose. Anyway, if this dies, it'd actually be pretty huge. Okay, so, yeah, okay. Is this going for the AA? Right, finally. So he gets the AA, which is huge, because there's no other AA here. So now his helicopters are free to roam the Earth and so on. I'm not sure what happened to the Avenger that was here. Maybe he got killed by one of the infantry units or something. And yeah, the Panzerjäger, they don't really have the range to deal with this. Igla's up here. But, you know, the scout's being right here. This Igla is probably about to die. Yes, there it goes. This man is on return fire, so he's not shooting. And, yeah, very much an uphill struggle for Red, both figuratively and literally. There's literally a big hill here, which is giving him a big disadvantage. And on this side, you know, he got somewhere, and I suppose he forced the enemy to reinforce this zone, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so continuing to play around this area. These haven't, you know, they could go on the howitzer, really. Sorry, the mortars would be the obvious target. But instead he's just hoping there's somebody in here. I mean, he's right. There is somebody on the edge of this one. But yeah, the mortars would be the obvious target because they're not moving. Anyway, so this CV is just gonna die, presumably, because this man has 1 HP here, and he's got the dragon, so he will just show up, and this doesn't have a gun, so... I suppose this could shoot him, maybe, but it's not facing the right way, and it's landed, so it can't turn. MLRS still reloading. You know, another thing is you could put CV next to these. But yeah, not having the military police vehicle is really kind of weird. Okay. So, Red trying to get all the way around here. Which is cool. I mean, it's hard to do, but yeah, it makes sense, because if your enemy's just going to constantly use this reinforcement road, if you get somebody to here, well then that's golden, right? Panzerjäger, yeah, I used to bring Panzerjäger. Anyway, that just died, as we expected. So still advantage blue. And yeah, I don't know, it makes me upset seeing the map, and it's like, they just don't fix it. I don't know, I really want to make my own video games. I need to finish this PhD first, and then I'm making like a driving game. It's called Hearse Hero, just as like a practice game. Then I'm going to make a shooter, because shooters make money, and then if I make enough money off the shooter, then I can make a strategy game, because strategy games take like 5 years to make. They're the hardest kind of game to make, and they've got the smallest player base. so you don't even make your money back. But so it's more of a labour of love thing, right? Anyway, plane's coming out, and you see he's got the seed with them. Doesn't actually need it. The cub died long ago. But yeah, what's the target here? He's doing his absolute best to get shot by enemy AA here. Thankfully, there's only one Igler. Yeah, so it was a nice idea. I mean, it's got a nice radius, but there wasn't actually any AA here, and there wasn't actually anybody there. That angle was very odd. If there were cubs here, they would have got all 3 rounds off on him, but there weren't, and I suppose that's what the seed's for. Anyway, so T-Man's free to now flood this. But yeah, Lil Goat, he has his own flood, his own spam, right? And, okay, so these men, they've not been healed up. He's been... okay. Apparently standing here is very important. Double HE coming out here. Okay, on all those guys. He didn't actually replace the AA. Oh, but he's going to miss that, right? He gets 3 M60s. Has a lot to do with the fact that... but yeah, these have Sidewinders. They've got the good one as well, so there you go. They function as sort of pseudo ASFs. He could have evac. Okay, whatever. So yeah, he gets 3 M60s. A lot of that was to do with the fact that they weren't fully healed up, so he'll die into like regular bombs there. Doesn't get the CV because he like missed and then he called it off. Still nothing happening over here. I mean, Lil Goat, he tried and he was like, oh, well, we're not getting there, are we? So now he's sending some stuff. Yeah, a 2,800 meterer here is very useful. Okay, did decent damage there, but it's not dead, and these guys, you know, they can't really do anything about that. This could be moved up, I suppose, but this is just here for the ATGM to cover the other hill he has to worry about. Yeah, so howitzers are going on them. No, they're going on the helicopters. Helicopters have just finished healing, though, and they're off. I don't know, I mean, these haven't moved, so... I suppose this isn't shooting anymore, but this certainly is. So yeah, that, I mean, would be a great target. It's interesting that you could see this. So one wonders how. That is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, just a cheeky 3v1 there. Last shot Ramirez, make it count. Got the side shot off on the tank. Put it down to 1 HP. And this has, you know, this has the range, but that is a helicopter. So the jet, just scouting, lack of AA, I suppose. He is actually just giving his enemy smoke cover here. You gotta be careful with your smoke. But yeah, if these just came in, they would just kill everything. Obviously, he's not to know that. But look, okay, so he can now know that. Because look, this hasn't been shot. This hasn't been shot. You are clear to engage. And then they stop smoking, right? You just come over here, kill all this, and then leave before some AA shows up. Anyway, the CV died, the red CV. I think the light rifles must have got him. There's no AA here, so the Tow Cobra is going to have the run of the mill. He's trying to use the fighters. He's successfully using the fighters. Avengers have shown up now. And the Avengers will not kill him. They only got 2 shots off, and they'd need 2 hits to kill him. Anyway, this man quite comfortable in his smoke, provided by Uncle Sam. Sorry, whatever. Uncle Brezhnik, whatever. German name. Yeah, whatever, that wasn't very funny. So yeah, the smoke, though, really doing his enemy a lot of favours right now. And that gets routed by the first shot, which is just RNG, basically. And it's probably going to come round and hit the other one now. Now he's just going to continue to fly in circles around the enemy. I suppose this is what he's going to... No, this will be going on the tanks. Alright. And it is very effective against the tanks. So yeah, now kill the helicopters, maybe? Okay, there we go. So the helicopter should die. I mean, realistically, Goat should have landed these a long time ago. And here we go, so Tow 2A. Breaks line of sight there. And he's losing his helicopters. It's a big shame. He had a lot of time to react to that, really. T-Man wasn't doing anything in any major hurry. Could have bought some cubs as well. he's had a lot of time to buy those. And, yeah, so Red takes the zone, but Blue holds the zone. And 9-3-6 to T-Man. We're getting into that sort of later game kind of mindset, though. Like, you can see that Red is, you know, still able to buy lots of crap, whereas Blue looks like he's beginning to run out. Although I suppose he just bought a bunch of planes. Still got 2 of these left. Still can't see anything, no recon here, right? So he's just going to lose both of these. And here come the planes. He's got no AA. So this was not very well thought out. I know that the urge is to do something, right? I get it, but okay. But all of that would have been better spent here at this point. The alternative is to do all that here because it helps this fight. I do like the planes from Red though. He's getting lots of value out of it. So there goes an arty piece. I mean, Team has not really been using these anyway, but but you know, a kill's a kill. The alternative is he could have come over here and then had some cubs here. It's just difficult to push when you've not got air cover because, well, you see what happens. Anyway, T-Man a bit slow on the reverse there, so he'll lose some M60s. Avenger might get out. He's got to come up here though, so we'll see. See if these guys just shoot him. He's going up that hill. No, they can't see that apparently. Okay. It's interesting that he could get up there because it's not got the colour. Usually they give it a specific colour if you can get it. Like, do you see how this is green? This is actually grey, and he just went straight up it. Anyway, Lil Goat, he's got to keep moving his CV because there's lots of places to hide if you're on the blue side of this supposedly middle zone. Okay, scout spot the T-55. Still no cubs, right? You get 4 cubs. He lost 1 cub at the start of the game, and he just never bought any more. Obviously, yeah, the enemy has seed. You got to watch out. But come on. Anyway, very expensively, Red has managed to take this zone, but now he's lost center. He's still not bought any AA. It's just going to keep happening. And the helicopter, sorry, the mortars are still shooting. So now he's going to smoke all this off, I suppose, and then hide in here. Another thing you can do as Red, once you take this, is get up here, which you sort of need to do anyway. I find it very strange that T-Man never used his considerable forces here to just shoot down this road. It's a bit odd, really. I suppose people don't really think about it because there's no... If there was a tree right here, people would do it. Anyway, yeah, just a little bit of the generous act of kindness there, just giving his enemy a supply to heal up his M19, which is covered by the smoke that he fired. Using smoke's very difficult. You can often use smoke in such a way that it makes your life extremely hard. Yeah. So this is, you see he's put it on return fire here, so he's got it aimed and he's put it there, so as soon as the CV goes there he'll release return fire and it will immediately begin shooting. This can't afford to get too close because of all the enemy AA and the enemy fighters and so on. He sort of just does it anyway and it dies, and then it... I assume that was the fire and forget missile. Anyway, T-Man still coming down this road. Real big fan of this road, apparently. Lil Goat has finally decided to... Well, I say decided to, he's been trying all game. He's finally managed to get some ATGMs up here. But yeah, there's that grenade launcher, just killing everybody. Just sat there. Nobody could kill it. And it had less HP before and they healed it up. And now it's going to kill this, because it critted it. Then it's going to kill this. Then it's going to kill this. Oh dear. Oh, you hate to see it. That's the sort of thing you use your MiG-21 bomber on. I mean, what the heck? Anyway, he gets the TV. T-Man has 6 CVs. One wonders how many he's got left, actually. So we know from the deck review he's got 6 CVs, 2 cards, right? 3 Humvees and 3 National Guard guys. There you go, Cubs finally purchased. Took a while, but we got there. Another fighter going straight into the maw of those 2 Avengers after the last one got hit by those 2 Avengers. Actually is going to make it out because there's no AA here. Still no F-15 Eagle purchased. Anyway, this is about to happen. And yeah, I really do like Lil Goat smoke plays. The advantage of the mortars is that you can get a lot of smoke on target for quite cheap. The disadvantage is you can be counter-batteried. But sometimes your enemy buys 3 artillery pieces, and you never move your mortars, and he just sits there and lets you mortar the whole game. Is this guy gonna do anything? No. Okay. Just it's my time, I guess. Could have just reversed back here. You know, you see it coming in. I don't know. Anyway, lots of red things dying at the moment. Blue's managed to set up back here. Really powerful strategy, just constantly buy units in one place, constantly, constantly, constantly. Wow. Incredible gameplay. I suppose his opponents basically been doing the same thing. They deserve each other. But yeah, you know, maybe do something about this with your artillery. As opposed to just letting it shoot the whole game. So you could even use this, you could cluster this, they'd all die. Or the two would die. I suppose this is probably a bigger target, right? Get that triple kill. And yeah, so, you know, Red, he had his moment, I think, and he sort of threw it away. A lot of it is to do with the fact that Blue's div is kind of absurd on the defense because of these and the TOW2s and the snipers and the grenade launchers and the planes and, you know, the artillery if you need it. So Blue's division is really good at defending. 9th US is probably the best defensive div in the game, probably because of stuff like this. And so Red, you know, he had his bite and then he overextended a little bit, and T-Man was able to get back in. A lot of it is, you know, skill expression as well. It's not just the divisions. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can't just let your enemy smoke from a single position with sold transports for the whole game and not do anything about it. It's just like, this isn't even doing anything. Anyway, right, is he coming for... No, he's going for the tank. Alright. Fighter's here, though. Gets killed by the bomber. Yeah, I mean, these things happen. It is a cheap fighter, and this actually has, like, better side missiles than that. So it looks like both survive. This wasn't healed up, so... Down it goes. This CV... Was this the one from over here? Did it survive? I thought it died, and he might have bought another one or something. Anyway. This thing's really going to ruin his day. He's got a smoke right now. And you see how fast it goes. And the light rifles law are going to beat the Cub, certainly. And these men, they just get so many machine guns. I don't know if the DMRs actually shoot at this range. That smoke was pretty exciting because it means that he can get in satchel range. Especially if his enemy just runs into him. These things happen. Happens a lot more in Broken Arrow, but yeah, getting caught out like the A killing the AA is just one of the beauties of this game. And yeah, Panzerjäger. So this is eventually I took the Panzerjäger out of my deck. I just couldn't be bothered with it. Just could buy an extra card of Moshus or something. They're not that useful. The range is too low. But yeah, last time I saw Lil Goat play, I think I might have mentioned the Panzerjäger being good or something. But, you know, I mean, a lot of people, they're like, Hippie, you say one thing, you say something else. Well, sometimes I am wrong, right? Usually I'm right, though. That was a side shot. But a lot of it is just my learning develops as I play the game more. Also, patches come out which change things, right? Like, this div got a huge buff. This div got a sort of slight buff. You know, losing 1 men for 5 points off your light rifles is probably buff, actually. Although it got nerfed because the CUCV got nerfed. So yeah, 4th, you know, competitive div. But really, I just think, I mean, could you imagine if Red was on the other side, right? He wouldn't have to constantly do this, where he's just sat in this tiny little hole getting hit by MLRS. When he's attacking into this zone, he'd been on this side and have much better fire options. You know, could have put somebody up here and shot down here, you know? So it really is an uphill struggle, and it's funny because you're actually at the bottom of a hill, so that it makes it funnier, I suppose. I don't understand why these went to 4 per card. It's like other recon helos are 3 unless they're unarmed. This is armed. It's literally got a Cobra gun on it. Anyway, that guy finally dies, but he loses the bomber for it, and seed, like 4th gets good seed. It's just there's nothing to seed. Kind of strange not to see an Eagle on combat air patrol though, because that is how you deal with these bombs. I mean, you know, it's easy for me to just sit here and pass judgment. It's hard when you're playing the game to think clearly and, you know, how much have you played this div, that sort of thing. So, double AT playing out there. This one's just for show. And, you know, this should be killed, really. I mean, if this gets here. And, right, okay. Yeah. So, he's relying on his fighters. He's not got the MiG-29, which is the good one. I think he's just got 2 cards of these, right? Or has he only got 1 card? I did the deck review. I should know this. Did I do the deck review? Yeah, I did, right? What did he have in his air tag? Can't remember. Oh, there's the MiG-29. Oh, okay. With 3 minutes left, we finally see it. Anyway, he's going to fly over some stingers now. And, oh, if this one shoots... No, this one's still reloading. Okay. Yeah. So this CV, I'm pretty sure is T-Man's last CV, to tell you the truth, which is why he's bringing it all the way back around. And yeah, sort of people starting to run out of recon and stuff here. Get close enough though, you're going to see it. It's a shame it missed, actually, but depending on who you're rooting for. That was woefully optimistic. I guess he thought he could get that. I don't know how he could see it. I mean, we'll have seen it leave, but... Anyway, this is going to die now. Like, how does he even see that? It's probably this. It's probably... Yes, this, isn't it? The tool only goes so far, but yeah, he probably sees it because of these. And yeah, T-Man on a +1. I think Red might have run out of CVs or something. And he surrenders. Yeah, both parties were running out of CVs there. Pretty interesting game. I think the map's kind of imbalanced. T-Man obviously has had a lot more games, right? 3,865 games compared to 598 games. So, you know, credit to Lil Goat. Definitely punching above his weight. It's probably because he watches Hippie YouTube videos, right? And, you know, some of it was the strategy, some of it was the map, some of it was the RNG, some of it was the skill expression. You know, that's Warno. It's got a little bit for everybody. Yeah, it was an interesting game. Do let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. GG. I'm still scrolling. I gotta keep scrolling, because people might want to know, you know. I don't know. I mean, do they care? Is anybody here? Hello? Then it freezes whenever I alt tab. So stupid. I wish they fixed that.